really proud to be involved with a book that everybody gets, beginner to experts. I'd like to see them stop making pennies for circulation, but I'd like to see them keep making them for mint sets and proof sets. You're lucky your uncle didn't collect butterflies. Coins are worth something. My name is Jeff Garrett from Lexington, Kentucky, and I own Mid-American Rare Coin Galleries and Mid-American Ancients.
And what are you working on right now?
Well, this is a coin show. This is the American Numismatics Association show. It's in Atlanta. It's called the National Money Show. And we've been to this coin show. I've been coming here in this convention center for almost 40 years. So this is like coming back home for me. And we've gotten basically this tonight's setup. So we're getting ready for the show. Retail people will be coming in the next few days. We're looking forward to seeing lots of people, and that's kind of what we're doing, getting ready for another big coin show.
Awesome. How would you rank this show in comparison to other shows that you go to?
This is like a mid-level show. Fun show in January would have been like 600 tables. This is more like 200 tables. It's a little bit noteworthy because a lot of the because it's an A&A thing, you get a lot of the national dealers that come here. So not just all the, another show in Georgia might have all the guys from the region and things. There's people here from all over the country, California, New York City, Florida, everywhere. So it's a little more of a national event, even though it's smaller.
Okay, so is that something that probably stands out more about this show than
Yeah,
others?
I mean, you'll see there's lots of really high-level coins here that you would not see normally at a coin show in Georgia. The coin shows are normally here. There would be dealers more from the region, and they're not going to have the $100,000, $200,000 coins or $1 million coins on exhibit in the back room and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite show to go to?
I think my favorite's the Fun Show. That and the A&A. They're too close neck and neck. Fun Show is great down in Florida because it's in Florida, Orlando, January, great time of year, and it's a giant coin show, 600 tables. It's huge. A&A is great because anybody goes to that coin show in August because it's like you got to, if you're in the business, you're going to go to the A&A convention. This year will be my 51st in a row I've been to. So it's a big convention for me.
You know how long the A&A show's been going on?
The A&A show's been going on since probably the early 1900s. They've been going a long time. A&A organization is over 125 years old. So it's the biggest collector organization. And what makes this show a little bit special, there's a lot of educational things here that they don't have at other shows. There's like a grading seminar. There's how to tell counterfeit coins. They also have the museum exhibit over here that's got, I think, a 13 nickel on exhibit, and which is worth like $5 million. So there's literally a $5 million coin on the Bourse floor here, so you could go see if you came here.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, I guess they got a good guards though.
Yeah, they better. Could you explain to somebody who maybe hasn't gone to a coin show, what's the importance of getting out here?
Yeah, well, you get to see things that you only seeing things on the internet is one thing, like you look through and like these coins here, they're cool to see on the internet, but to actually see them in person and, hold them and being able to compare like one to another. And also really another great thing is to be able to see people. I don't go to all the coin shows, so when you get to see, I'm here, you can ask me about questions. There's guys here that specialize in large cents, gold coins, you can see the experts in the series here. So that's really the big attraction. You get to see the people, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Sort of speaking of experts, we can talk a little bit about your career, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
For, again, people who are sort of new to the coin space,
Right.
maybe aren't familiar with your work, could you give a little rundown on just some of the main things
Well,
that you're known for?
I'm consider myself a high-level rare coin dealer. I do everything from colonial coins to gold coins, the whole gamut. So I specialize in U.S. coins. I do a lot with the ancient coins, maybe usually found in hoards or different groups. And about, I don't know, 20 years ago, I started getting into writing. So I do a lot of writing, and probably best known right now is I'm the editor of the senior editor of the Red Book, which is like the Bible of coins.
Yeah.
So I work on that every year, and the new edition's coming out. That's something you should probably look at. It's really neat. They've got them on exhibit over at the Whitman table. You can see it tomorrow, the 2026 edition, and we did a lot of changes and updates to that. So, my goal I tell people the reason I like to write books and stuff is I don't make that much money doing them, but the more you educate people about coins, the more you tell them about them, or you tell the stories, it makes people want to buy them. So it's really to stimulate the market and to make people want to buy coins because the stories are great.
Yeah, they are. What's that sort of process like for working as an editor on the Red Book? Like what actually are you in charge of there?
Well, for probably 20 years, I did pricing for the Red Book. So I would really work on the pricing every year. Red Book did not change a lot. About 2 years ago, the Whitman publishing was sold to Gray Sheet, which is a CDN organization. And now we're making a lot of changes and a lot of updates. I don't do pricing now. I do more editorial content. The introduction to Numismatics is updated this year. I did a new section on California fractional gold. We've done a whole, a lot of like, did you know things in the book. So I'm now, my job in the Red Book is more editorial and with just telling those stories. And also my main goal is for the Red Book is to have the book useful and to have information on how people collect the series, because every series has its own nuances. So you need to be able to, like, if you do Mercury dimes, you've got to put full bands in there. That wasn't in there before. So we're trying to, really make the book reflect on how people collect coins and give them the information they need to be able to be a collector.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And also from beginners to advanced. So that book is if you started coins tomorrow, you should get a Red Book. I mean, here's a gal walking over here. They both got Red Books, So they're swiping right up. So
yeah. You should see our collection of Red Books.
Yeah.
We've got like a whole shelf of a bunch of copies from back in the 80s. We've got from, I think, 54.
Yeah, they sell 300,000 or more copies a year, and it's a Bible of coins. So really proud to be involved with a book that everybody gets, beginner to experts.
Yeah, super awesome. Do you like gold or silver better?
Well, I think silver is a better investment at this level because silver is $34 an ounce and gold's $3,000 an ounce almost. And that's historically a really big out of whack ratio. So silver probably has a better chance of doubling than gold does.
Okay. So it's purely from like an investment?
No, if you're talking about bullion, I like gold. I like silver bullion better than gold bullion. I like gold coins better than silver coins because gold coins are my real, one of my core expertise is U.S. gold coins. I love U.S. gold coins. They're great.
Yeah. Some of the pre-33 stuff.
Yeah, it's all awesome. Yeah, I love that. So, and one of the other books I wrote was Encyclopedia of U.S. Gold, which is kind of a Bible for a lot of those series.
Yeah. What would you say is like the easiest way for someone to get into collecting that pre-1933 gold?
Oh, to buy 1933 gold? Well, I mean, a lot of them now is you can buy a lot of them for not much over bullion price, so it's really easy to do. I guess just to give you a tip, always buy certified coins because there are counterfeits out there. Make sure you know who you're buying from because, you just can't buy them on eBay and find out later that who knows if it's Chinese fake or something, even fake holders. So you got to, the coins are as good as the company you bought from. So make sure it's a good company that you're dealing with. Check out their stars and things like that, or anybody like Google stuff. And I think also if you really want to get into it, study the auction catalogs because every auction, every week, there's big auctions somewhere.
Yeah.
You can see collections sold, and you can actually study and see what coins are bringing at auction. It's really, when I buy coins, I look at auction records probably first.
Okay.
Just to see what the current value is.
Yeah. It's very, very well said. Good advice.
Yep.
I totally agree. We try to do a weekly numismatic news update.
Yeah.
Very often I'll throw in some of the bigger auctions that are happening during the week. So.
Yeah, you see what happened because sometimes it's surprising. They get too many of a coin, prices can be depressed, or if you get a coin that's finest known, it can bring 10 times what you thought it was worth. So it's really interesting.
How did you feel about the Stax Bowers auction for the 2024 flowing air gold?
I'm not a fan. I didn't like the way the mint did that. I don't think they should create rarities and then have one company sell them, versus everyone. I just, I think if they'd have done that coin with the, you talking about the Privy Mark coin?
Yeah.
I think if they'd done that coin, it's like you could have gotten one of those if you bought one of the other coins. That would have been great because everyone would have been excited and they'd have been like, been really cool. But to just where does it end? Are they gonna make a coin with a mintage of 10 and auction it? It just doesn't. To me, it's a slippery slope, and I don't really like it much. But not horrible, but I just not a fan.
There you go.
I mean, it's a cool coin, mintage of 230, but recently created. So
yeah, fair enough. Not a whole ton of numismatic value there, I'd say.
Not a good story. But I mean, it's people like modern. That's I still like the vintage and old stuff. I'm old fashioned. I like old coins.
Yeah, me too. I'll take an older coin over a new coin anyway.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How do you feel about the pennies probably going
I
away
think
now?
What I would like to see them do, and I'm going to advocate it, and I'm going to, anybody I know that might have influence, I'd like to see them stop making pennies for circulation, but I'd like to see them keep making them for mint sets and proof sets so that people can still collect them.
Yeah.
And then that way they could live on forever, and they can charge whatever they want for them. They wouldn't be a loss, and that they would stay in the numismatic world. So I'm hoping that could be a possibility.
That's good.
But I think as far as pennies and nickels in circulation, and I wouldn't been down to pick one up.
Yeah, no, I leave them there all the time.
Right. So they don't have much value. But that being said, there is a little bit. I started collecting 50 years ago, when someone gave me an album for Lincoln Pennies. So I have a fondness for them from that standpoint. They still, they still have a sweet spot for a lot of people. It's something to collect.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So it's like I mean, it's been around
It's iconic.
Yeah.
Been around forever.
forever. One
And
of the
it got,
first
I
with the
mean,
president on it.
millions of people started collecting by collecting Lincoln Pennies.
Yeah.
Millions of, and that with also Whitman, the albums. They still work. People, I give kids all the time Whitman albums for like quarters or pennies, and they get excited. They love filling those holes, and that's
Yeah.
still a fun way to start collecting.
Yeah, that's a great segue into one of my other questions. What do you think is the best way for someone to get started in coin spelling?
If you're gonna get started small, I would get a red book, and then I would go to Whitman's website and buy some of the albums, and then go around and look in circulation and fill some albums. Just see what that it's like to fill up and miss a hole, and suddenly you want to get one of those coins to fill that hole. That's like, that's the very beginner way of doing it. And then as you learn more, find a series that you're attracted to it, like, maybe peace dollars are beautiful, and then try to learn as much about that series before you make any purchases. Learn about them, and then study it, and then buy them one or a little bit at a time. Don't buy them too fast.
I've got one last question for you.
Okay.
Do you have a holy grail coin?
To me, the coolest coin of all time is the 1907 double eagle that was a pattern by Augustus Saint-Gaudens, and the obverse is an Indian that was made on the 10 Indian. It's called the Indian 20. It's only one known. It's in a private collection. The coin sold for $500,000 in 1984, 40 years ago.
So I mean,
And it's it'd be worth $25 million now.
Yeah.
But the guy that owns it hasn't exhibited it publicly for 40 years. So it's like a holy grail coin that even no one's seen in 40 years.
Yeah.
But it's an unbelievable beast. So that would be, if I could own a coin and not be able to ever sell it, that's the one I would want to own. Cool coin. It's in my 100 greatest book.
Is there anything else you want to mention, say, or plug before we
No, I
wrap it
think
up?
I think it's a great hobby. I think it's lots and lots of fun, and